No matter the venue or the locale, when these two get together, you know the spirits are going to be flowing, the intensity will be high, and these two will be ready to write another chapter in their storied rivalry. Georgia likely to kick it deep to get things started. On the move from inside his 5. Finds just enough space across the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. Florida's offense takes the field. The Dogs able to hunker down and get out with a close win the last time they saw the Gators.
Yeah, anytime you get a win in Jacksonville, anytime you beat Florida, it's a success. It doesn't matter if it's by 100 or if it's by 1. Georgia fans know how much this means to them, and so do these players.
Yeah, you know, they call this game the world's largest cocktail party. The energy in the stands is just completely different. That's something David and I obviously have experienced before. And after that Georgia win last year, man, those Bulldog fans, they stuck around. They were here in Jacksonville, hanging out at the stadium, enjoying it all through the night. They've been enjoying it all year, and they're hoping to order some more adult beverages after this one, too.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. He'll pull it on the read. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling.
Man, I love that play by this corner. You know why? When you run the option and that thing gets spread out, your DBs have to commit to tackling. And how about the cornerback coming up, sticking his face in the fan, and making a play? You love to see DBs tackle like that.
They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. The Gators line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. So Georgia's offense has the ball for the first time. And they're going to have to contend with a secondary that is one of the best in the nation, Jesse.
And they're a complete secondary, too. When you watch them on film, they're very good defending the pass and coverage, and they can play man and zone. But I like them, David, because they're not afraid to put their face in the fan. Everybody in the back end likes to tackle and likes to be physical. That's what makes them special.
Yeah, and it's just an elite group in the back end. Multiple guys that win their individual matchups, which makes it hard to run offense. And this is a group that, yes, they tackle well, they see the football well, they break on it well. You better worry about the ground game. You better get some kind of deception going against this secondary.
Got it behind the line. It's played. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. It'll be 3rd and long. To the air. It's Averill. Right down the middle. Finds a tight end. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. The Dogs come to the line with a new set of downs. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Can't hold on. He had it right down the middle, and he flat dropped it. Oh, they dial up on second, and a long way to go. The inside handoff. Past the 40. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down. And those hairy Dogs taking a bite out of another first down.
You don't usually find Georgia teams that complicate things. They know who they are, and it starts with running the football, establishing the line of scrimmage. That's what the Dogs do.
There he goes. And he is showing it all and finding ways to pick up yards. He's down to the 28. And the Dogs can really attack on this 2nd and short. Back to pass. Grab near the sticks. It's Peace. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
When you play zone coverage, and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
Now down to the 12-yard line. It's first down. get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Dogs!
The offense goes as he goes, so really no surprise in the opening drive. They keep feeding him the football. He showed you all of his ability on that TD.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Use the play fake, now to throw. And he is snowed under, sacked at the 7. If there's ever been a position group that sort of identifies with the team's mascot, it would be the bulldog mentality of this Georgia front.
Those hunkering down dogs up front, they got to hunker down and stop the run and be physical. And then guess what? It gets into passing situations. Now I'm quick. Now I'm on the edge. Now I'm making that quarterback's life a living you-know-what.
The Gators now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Back to pass on second down. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the second down misfire. Throws to the wideout. He's got an open man. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29. Leaves it with the running back. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39.
And that would be the definition of first down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take it.
Oh, he's got some space. A big play. Gets it into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 44. And the Gators are moving quickly down the field. On the run, it's Durant. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. How about these two running games so far? Dominance on the ground as we look at the first quarter stats. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. After the run, now to throw. Can't quite make the connection there. Might have led him a little too much. 7th play of the drive coming up, and a long way to go on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it fly deep downfield. And it's an incomplete pass on the deep shot, but the flag is down. Let's check the call. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. The Gators will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And no chance for the return man to get his hands on that one as it hops out of bounds. They'll move the wide receiver. Quick pass on the jet motion. And what? Just dismissing tackles. Moves it out to the 34-yard line. A nice 15-yard gain on that one.
It's so important this offense is able to get this guy the ball in space, especially on the perimeter of the field. And I love that last play call because he's able to get outside and use his speed. To me, that's where this guy is his most dangerous.
when the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. David, as a Georgia legend, when I say Florida, what comes to mind?
Ugh. I mean, that's the easiest question you've asked me yet. I mean, there's nothing that I ever...
Turning it on! Lowers those pads. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
And there you go. You see, you don't have to throw bombs to get big plays in the passing game. Just screen it to your running back. As soon as he catches it, he gets upfield. And how about the downfield blocking by these linemen and the wide receivers as they rip off that explosive play.
They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
All right, second quarter, getting closer to the half. Offense is still having a lot of success stringing some first downs together. Defense is going to need to figure something out before they get to halftime.
With the run on first and goal. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. Second and goal for the offense. Now on the move. He's going to lose a yard on that one. The defense trying to make a stand on third and goal. Back to throw, it's Avram. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Third and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
Touchdown Bulldogs! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the passing because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in the game.
Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Gators sending the offense back to work. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great. So I know offensively, I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
From the gun, the ground game. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. Boys of old Florida are getting it done on the ground.
And you've seen time periods in history in Florida where they didn't care about the run. Spurrier, just throw it. Yeah, Jesse, throw it again. Yeah, throw it again. Just chuck it around. But I like when they commit to the ground game, have some success to create some balance.
Breaks into the open. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be first down. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Give to the running back. Shows him the stiff arm. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football.
Got some room, headed to the goal line, and he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Florida!
And that's a nice drive and nice physicality, punching it in with the run game. And here's the thing. I like where this offense is going. Nice job creating some momentum going into the half, cutting down the lead. This thing could get really exciting. Nice job answering the bell right before the half.
On to attempt the try. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, you could make a case this is the game of the week in the SEC. LSU is running away with things right now, and you just know Mike the Tiger is loving this offense today. They're up by 35 over Vanderbilt. We'll keep an eye on things until the final horn in a game that could shake things up a bit in the SEC.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know. Ball is loose. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. They drag him down, but not before they get the turnover and a terrific return on the fumble. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. The pull and throw off the RPO. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. Working well behind the sticks on second down. They'll test the right side. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. On third and long, he has to throw for it. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. And the field goal unit is on the field. They picked the spot. It's going to be about a 37-yard attempt. Absolutely center cut. That'll bring him to within 4.
Winning the turnover battle is so important, and you got to make these turnovers convert into points. They get the fumble recovery. Yeah, they didn't get a touchdown, but they're still able to get a field goal and put 3 points up on the board.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Slips through the line. He returns it almost to the 35. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Solid work on that one. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. To the air, it's Averill. The sure hands, it's Peace. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Lining up to convert third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged in the middle. It's Wade. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Just enough time for one final play of the half. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game.
Delay of game.
So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. On third and long, doesn't need to take the check down. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. It's incomplete, but here comes the flag, and I think it's going to be a first down.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the penalty for pass interference will allow this offense to run one more play on an untimed down. Back to pass, it's Averill. He'll take another shot here. Pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for the first half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Guys, some real edge-of-your-seat moments, and there's still 2 quarters to go here for the Gators and Bulldogs. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. They'll start this third quarter with a run. Got enough for the first down and wants more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
Yeah, run the football. You're ahead. You can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
Well, it's a nice job, too, the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
Creates a little room. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
In halftime in this locker room, there's a lot of positive things to talk about. You got the lead. But you know what else will be positive, Palmer? Get the running game going early in this second half.
You're absolutely right here. And I think this coaching staff is going to try to put this game on the offensive line a little bit. Let these guys take this thing over, be physical, and push this defense around. Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
And the Bulldogs really need to keep this drive alive on third down. They'll stick to the ground looking for the mark. Just what they'd hoped for on third down as they've got a first at the 32. The Bulldogs pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Rides to back and leaves it. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you use
going for it all. And he got a hand on it to knock it down in the end zone.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
And on fourth down, they'll try to salvage the drive with a field goal. This is going to be a 46-yard field goal attempt. He needed a little late boost from the crossbar, but he gets it to go through. The lead now 7 here in the third quarter. After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. And he takes this from inside the 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They'll go to work, trailing 17-10 and hoping to put together a productive drive. Leaves it with the back. There he goes! Got the first down and still on his feet. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
Hold.
Great place to start for this offense. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Can't hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Off play action. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. And now this offense will try to overcome that second down incompletion. Back to pass, it's Averill. It's complete to the right. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. Has to get there to move the sticks. They make the tackle, but he's got enough to give Georgia a first down.
Fourth down and short, you want a no-nonsense run. Nice job by the running back, getting the football, getting downhill, making sure he gets that first down.
He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
Now on third down after that run. Wide receiver comes in motion. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. They've got the screen set up. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it first and goal.
The screen game for this offense, man, it's a feel thing, like when to call it and when you can anticipate somebody being aggressive, and they pick the right time, man. They hit the defense, third down, a big play, slip it right behind the linebackers, make the play and get the first down.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that one.
Just nowhere to run, not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Nice execution by this defense on second and goal. And they try to throw the football. They stay tight on them. If I'm this offense, maybe I run some crossers, a little kick route, try to get my guy open.
Third and goal, and they'll try to pass it in. Touchdown, Georgia! That's the way you finish a drive and put up points. There is little the Dogs enjoy more than sticking it to the Gators, and boy, are they doing it right now.
Yeah, taking care of business. And listen, Georgia prides itself on being a physical unit. Every year, they're going to just pound you and bludgeon you. And Florida has had no response, just like in the last several games in this series. Georgia's just, they got the upper hand.
Georgia's always had talented teams. Certainly they were very talented back in the day when I played them. The program was in a great place. But because of recent success, they're just at a different level. What they're recruiting, what the expectations are, and they're really showing that here in the second half.
So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. Power football with the run. Tried to move that pile forward. He maybe gets two. He's down at the 21. Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Gonna run it. It's Durant. Just broke the tackle and still on. Oh, my goodness, he's still moving. All the way out to the 43-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds, and this offense is on the move. We've reached the break, and Georgia is on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. He'll keep it himself. Picks up the first down. Oh, he's got some space. And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28. The Gators, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
It doesn't matter what run play you have called, if you're running it inside or outside. If the defense gets penetration, everything's done. And you saw it on that play right there. Great job by the dude.
Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Across the 15. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play. And the Gators had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. They'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he can't find his man in the end zone as he was trying to pay off this red zone chance.
And you got to put that one on the receiver. That's just a flat-out drop. That's a good throw by the quarterback. That's a catch that receiver needs to make.
It's complete on the right side. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Gator.
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back, knowing if they get down into this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
Now to make sure this kickoff team covers properly to pay off that last scoring drive. Bringing it out. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
Touch pass on the right. Turning it on. Smashes through the tackle. Inside the 30. He's at the touchdown dog. He got a step and just dusted the field. They push that lead out, a really good opportunity to get back in the win column. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Plows through the defense. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Wants to go up top. With the catch, it's Durant.
Well, here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45. They absolutely had to have that 3rd down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get the 3rd down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
The Gators come to the line in the hurry up.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
Trying to cap this drive with the pass. He's got it, and he will score. Touchdown, Florida.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
This defense is trying to protect the lead. You have to make the offense work for it, and a personal foul just gives them yards. No chance for a return as that ball flies out of the back of the end zone. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. The defense is going to dare them to throw the ball. They know the offense is trying to run out the clock. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. Makes it past the marker. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Now from the 36-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Leaves it with the back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. The Dogs have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. From the gun, they'll try the middle. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
This is a big pressure moment for the offense, too, because they've got the lead, but it's now 3rd down on their own side of the field. They would love nothing more than to be able to convert this, stay on the field, keep bleeding the clock, but the defense, I'd expect them to bring pressure here, trying to force the ball out of the QB's hands quickly.
Georgia lining up to punt it away. We'll head to the 2-minute timeout. Tight ball game here, and this offense will try to milk the clock. The punt team makes its way onto the field. No return coming here. Fair catch is signaled for and made just shy of the 30. The Gators sending the offense back to work. These are the games. These are the moments. This is the opportunity for the finish that people remember in rivalries like this one.
And those highlights that are shown for years and years to come. These big-time moments, Palmer.
Intercepted, and that is the last thing they needed. The defense making a play to put an exclamation point on this one, and that ought to do it.
That's a tough deal for the offense, right? I mean, you're trailing, it's late in the game, you're having to throw the football, you're just trying to make something happen, and all gets away from the quarterback, ends up in the hands of a DB. Nice job by the defense.
Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. Wonder if they'll be conservative on 1st and 10. The give to the back. Breaks into the open. He'll be down at the 4-yard line after that terrific run.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving, get a few first downs, and get a W.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And wow, the defense was in there quick, fast, and in a hurry and shut that run game down. Like, they were ready for that. 2nd down now. A little more space for the offense, backed up, a little more room to operate.
And he'll finish the run and the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Starting to see some smiles on that sideline as they're close to a Week 10 victory.
Well, they get the touchdown when they needed it most. That score now makes it a 2-possession game. And guys, with just seconds to go on the game clock, this thing is all but over.
On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Got his man on the right. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's 1st down. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. Got to get everyone set. They spike it to stop the clock. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Pressure coming. That's not the way they drew it up. They get the clock stopped, but a loss of yardage does not help in the waiting moments. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Pocket breaking down. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24. Clock is stopped. Timeout used by the defense. 14 seconds left. Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. 4th down attempt coming. Oh, it's picked off. Oh, at the worst possible time. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
And here we go. Final play of the game right here. Might be changing the route. Looking for a man. It's Averill. The pass is incomplete, and there are 2 ticks remaining on the clock. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Back to pass. Deep shot for the end zone. And that one was way too far for anybody to catch, except the ticket holders. Another chapter of this rivalry in the books, and this one goes to the Dogs, who hunkered down and took out the Gators. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.